Greetings, everyone. This is Castantino. I am re-recording my final thoughts on the Justice League movie. Because honestly, well, I rambled too much and didn't talk enough about the movie. So, before we get started, one thing I forgot to mention was when they looked outside after the fight, when they looked outside the nuclear generator, nuclear tower that they were fighting in, everything turns into basically a neon landscape. Like, we're talking Avatar level thing here. We're talking Far Cry Blood Dragon thing here. Neon everything. Neon all the things. Now, my thoughts on the movie. Overall, I'm going to say this. The movie did get me not excited, but interested in seeing Wonder Woman and Aquaman. So I'll be doing those movies soon. Probably not my usual backhand kind of deal, but we'll see. So yeah, the movie got me interested. I really like the fact that it focused more on the hero and made it the hero's more interesting than the damn villain, because something I feel like Marvel has lost in recent movies is the fact of making someone interesting. Like, even in the Spider-Man movies, the one I saw, I haven't seen Far From Home yet, but even from what I'm hearing about that, it sounds like the villain's more interesting than the hero. Typical. I've just not been interested. Like, I did say in my review of Endgame that I thought the heroes got a decent enough send-off. Well, the original cast got a decent enough send-off. But I couldn't have cared less about it. And that's the problem with those movies. This movie, I actually made me want to see, as I said, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and maybe even Shazam. Why not? You know? Yeah, the only thing... So that's pretty much the good part. I mean, that they didn't make Batman into a psychopath like he was in the Frank Miller fucking Dark Knight Returns book, or in Snyder's freaking bullshit ideas. I know Snyder fucking said, "Oh, Batman kills." Fuck you, you stupid little shit. Batman, even in the Burton movies, except for the Strong Man. No. I wouldn't say that Batman didn't intentionally kill people, but yeah, the Strong Man he intentionally killed, and the guy he threw down the bell tower and Joker intentionally killed. I think those would be the only three I would say he intentionally killed. Or Joker, the guy in the bell tower, and the Strong Man. Penguin was an accident. Lawrence was an accident. Well, the one guy's never going to have kids. But getting back on the movie, I mean, he at least wasn't a freaking raving psychotic, like, I have to kill these people, I'm going to kill these people, like freaking Snyder wanted. So, go to hell, Snyder. Piece of shit. But yeah, the biggest thing I thought was the villain. I don't know much about the whole Justice League villain thing. I do know that if I'm going to make villains for the Justice League to battle, I would probably have I've heard of Darkseid's son. I've heard of Granny Goodness and her Furies. I've heard of Darkseid, of course, Brainiac. But yeah, there just aren't. I mean, granted, I haven't really looked into it much, but there just aren't. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of villains other than like the Legion of Doom, where you'd have to bring in all the villains, and then you got Justice League versus these guys, which would have only worked if you didn't kill your villains, which a lot of these comic book movies do, which pisses me off, and is one of the things I liked that they didn't do in Homecoming with Spider-Man, because they just kill the villains. They kill the villains way too much. When it's like you could easily like have them return later on for a good group versus bad group. Maybe it would be too many characters, but Marvel proved you could possibly do it. With the Avengers. But yeah, I mean, it's just, it really sucks that this movie didn't, if it wasn't for Zack Snyder, freaking, the movies did well. I don't think any of them that he did, unfortunately, hit the billion. Maybe one of them, but they kept going downhill from there. And then Justice League ended up having to blow up their budget so damn much between dealing with his crap, dealing with then he had to leave and they had to bring in a new director. So you have new visions, reshoots, the movie practically getting completely reshot. All this builds up the budget, and the movie if I'm remembering right, the movie just barely made its money back. So it's kind of a shame. I would have really liked to see them push these things. I still don't know why Cyborg was in there, and I sure as hell do not know why Steppenwolf was in there, because Steppenwolf is just a bitch in this movie. 100% a bitch. From his creepy "you'll love me" shit to the fact that he just comes off as the arrogance seems okay until Batman breaks through the dome, like I mentioned earlier, with missiles and bullets, primitive weaponry, and just on, and then he freaking, and like I mentioned before, I understand he had an army, but still, even he was in the freaking fight with the army, and what happens? They get beat, and here he is with another army, much smaller army, but still with an army, and he gets beat by one human, one meta-human, one enhanced human, and one Amazon, one Atlantean, and one God represented by Superman. So it's like you went from this being this kind of a villain, where you needed this to beat you, to just like this. If they ever bring Darkseid, if they ever do eventually get to a Justice League thing, which I have zero. See, we're going to get cynical here. I have zero hope of them making another Justice League movie. Simply because, number one, they have to freaking rebuild Batman and Superman. Batman, they're already working on another Batman movie, with Christopher Reeves, and with Batman apparently fighting off 6 villains from what I've heard, which, yeah, why not? Why the fuck not? And, I mean, you got Wonder Woman 2 coming out, Wonder Woman 84 as it's being called, as it's being touted. Aquaman, I don't know if there's an Aquaman 2 being planned. I think I heard there is, but nothing's been mentioned. You had Shazam. I've heard good things about that. But you have to freaking build up the Flash. You have to build up the, you have to build up Cyborg. You have to build up all these other heroes if you want to a bigger thing. And the issue also comes that you also have to, if you want to do the Legion of Doom, you have to start building that up. You have to start, because right now, Darkseid, because I don't even know if they should even deal with Darkseid. I think they should have, he's another one they have to build up, because they mention him in like an offhand. They mention him offhand. They don't mention him like at all. They don't mention Steppenwolf works for Darkseid. They don't mention that Steppenwolf has anything to do with Darkseid, except for one little comment that Steppenwolf says that's hell Darkseid, which he's also got mommy issues. So for all I know, in this universe, he was more Granny Goodness's bitch. Yeah, I said it in the bigger video that it's a real shame about that. Because this really got me interested in the future. I mean, my remarks about Batman v Superman and Man of Steel aside, because those ones deserve the garbage the stuff I gave it. But yeah, it really got me a little bit interested in what DC had to go on and everything. So, I mean, with the new management in Warner Brothers, which is probably going to have more of a chokehold on the budget, and with a known leech being in charge of the media, I don't know what his job's even gone. JJ's job's going to be over there, but with that leech and speaking of parasites, well, I'm thinking about parasites. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't see anything good happening over at Warner Bros. I hope I'm wrong. As I said, I would love to see DC get kind of start pushing and taking Marvel's audience, because Marvel is just starting to become cut and paste, and now with how they're trying to save the comic book company portion of Marvel by pushing those garbage characters. So anyway, that's all I've got. So I hope you enjoyed the videos. I hope you enjoyed my discussion on Justice League. So my final thing, I liked it a lot better than Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. So take that for whatever you can. So anyway, I'll see you next video. Oh, you have a good day.